Hello everyone, Kalive here, and welcome back to Enshrouded in 2025. Alright, so we left off with getting geared out for frost resists. We do have a few things. We got this nice wand, level 39 maxed out with a gem. We got some food, some new food items. And yeah, a couple of other things. Some better gear, some better tools. And in the meantime, I've just been working on a few, just like farming stuff up, making sure that I have enough resources to prepare for the dragon boss, which will be coming soon. And also try to work on just a few other resources, like with coal and stuff like that, and gather those and make sure that we are good to go on those things. Alright, so in this episode, the plan is going to be to tackle the rest of the items in the lower area. There's like a little valley. There's a elixir well. We already have a house over here. We've already unlocked a few places here, but we do have to go tackle this elixir well. So that's kind of the first thing. And then after that, we're going to have this entire mountain that we need to go tackle, and also to get a new building up there. So we're going to make a new base up in that area. And I'll show you the best spots to complete the rest of the zone and game as well. And so on that topic, we are at a flame level of 7. There is still some red shroud areas we can't get to. So we do need to start working on this stuff right here in order to make sure that we have the things that we need to complete the rest of the red shroud areas. And we do also need to kill the dragon before we can reach some of those areas. So we'll definitely be doing that. And a few of the things that we need to work on is, I guess the biggest thing to get is going to be the Mauvine. So let's go ahead and look at that. We also do need to work on some more Shroud Vapor stuff. So that's going to be kind of a pain. Sulfur is pretty easy to get. Tar is pretty easy to get. And then Nitrate. So Shroud Vapor, once again, is more Enshrouded Ice and more Mycelium and Salt. So we're going to need some more of this stuff. I think we might be able to make some Mauvine. I think we need 40. So we have to make quite a bit of this stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to work on this, get this going. The time for this is like 10 minutes per. So get working on that. Also, the Wolfsbane is going to be something we have to work on. So that's going to be 40 of that. So we definitely want to start getting that going. So let's see. I think I have some. Yeah, I have 30. Probably need to make a few more of this. I'll let this go while I'm doing other things. So that's going. I think everything else we can just go farm up. Silver bars, we definitely need to get some more silver. Get that from the lower areas. It's not hard to get. And then amethyst, we got tons of amethyst. We're good there. Obsidian. So I need to get some more obsidian. I need to make some more obsidian arrows. And I also need to make some stun arrows while we're talking about preparing for the boss. So if we go back to here, one of the tactics, if you're melee focused for the boss, is going to be to craft these stun arrows. So definitely want to get this stuff going. Requires goo. Which requires the mushrooms from, I believe it's Revelwood area. So you need to go farm those up to make the goo, and we can make the stun arrows. You're going to need quite a bit of stun arrows to knock down the boss. And I would recommend also explosive arrows. There's a build that's pretty good if you want to go the route of the archer. You can use mana, and that mana will cause the arrows you shoot to do stun damage. So I think it's this one right here, Shell Shock. So you infuse range explosives with mana and they stun enemies. So this is a pretty good ability if you go on the route of archery. I'm not going to do that though. I'm going to probably stick with just what I'm going to be doing here. Just pure melee damage, and then we're going to do some knocking out of the dragon with our shields. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing with that. Alright, so I guess that's a little bit later on. So the thing we could do now is go up to the mountains and go knock out this Elixir well. We really want to focus on this quest line because these quest lines are going to take us to the dragon, essentially. So we want to complete these quest lines. And after the dragon is done, we do have other things we need to complete the rest of the content for the game. So the dragon's like the halfway point in the Alban Eve summits, and that unlocks the rest of the shrouded areas that we need to get to. Alright, so I'm going to go up here in the daytime, and then we're going to hit up this Elixir well next. Alright, I did move the flame shrine. It was like in a cave down there. I moved up here to this little top spot here. So if we need to go farm some stuff up, we can do that over here. There is a lore piece around here, somewhere over here. I don't think it's in the big building. I'll go see if it's in this building, actually. Let's go grab this real quick. I just want to show you where it is. Okay, yeah, it's inside, and let's go ahead and read this. Missing socks. Okay. That might bring a location. Yeah, new quest, missing socks. So, where's that going to take us? Did we complete that quest already? Yeah, okay. I think we already completed that one. Okay, well, that's done. Yeah, let's go back up then and go to the Elixir well. We are in the freezing area, so we definitely want to make sure that we don't spend too much time up here. And yeah, let's go over here. So down here is where the Elixir well is. It's going to be in this shroud. You want to have level 7 shroud passage for this. And there are a lot of enemies in here. Alright, yeah, this place is level 32, as you see. We're level 31, so it's going to be a good experience for us. This is going to hopefully get us level 32. I'm going to try to start clearing things out more. I'm going to speed through the fights, but I'm going to try to clear out more enemies in here, because I definitely want to get the experience before we fight this dragon. You want to be as good as you can get when you fight that dragon. Oh, there's one of the brutes. Alright, yeah, they really made these guys a huge pain. I let they just run around. Okay, so there's a lot of guys in here. Like I said, there is a bunch of archers down there. What if we can just avoid them? I don't want to chase archers around all day. There is a chest over there, I see. It's very hard to see with the shroud plus the freezing debuff. Definitely makes it like a big pain. I think we need to go around, actually. I want to get this chest. I have to go kill these guys. They're going to be shooting me while I'm trying to get across. Let's go over here. Over here. So this place in the middle is where the the root is. And then down below there's a bunch of shroud. Just like deadly shroud down there. We need to get up there. The only way to get up there is there's these wind currents. So we're going to be jumping on wind currents while we're here. We have like 12 minutes left. Let's see. I need to get into... I need to go find the wind currents. We can fly all the way to this side. Let's go over here. Alright, here's one route. Okay, so that's the first route. We do get our timer reset at least for breaking that route, so that's good. The next one's going to be over there, and there's one up top as well. This is going to be, I think, the beetles. So we definitely want to land somewhere that's not below. Might get blown up. Alright, so we need to blow up all these beetles before we get exploded ourselves. Alright, that is the second route, and the next one's up there. That's going to be a boss up there, though. It's going to be the Cyclops, the Fell Cyclops. So we want to be careful over there. But they do hit pretty hard. We did kill one already. It was 4 levels lower, though, so this is going to be pretty high level. I think that's it over here. Yeah, our Enshrouded timer reset, so let's keep going up. Alright, and here is the Cyclops. And the last route. That should be it up here, just these two things. Alright, that quest is done. Ignite the Elixir well. We also got the Cyclops torso from this guy. And let's go ahead and break this route. Alright, we got 3 points from that. Not bad. I think... if we go over here... yeah, this is back at the beginning. So yeah, as you can see, there is just the 3 routes in here, and we should have this one complete now. So yeah, not too difficult, really, especially at this level. And that's about it. We do have a spare... let's see, we have a spare eye, and we also have this Fell Cyclops head that we could also get. We did get this too, Mythic Wand. And yeah, none of that stuff we actually need. Alright, so we can get out of here now, since we're not in the shroud anymore. Let's go ahead and go back to the base. Alright, back at the base, and we do now have a quest from the Flame. Let's go ahead and talk to it. Alright, this talks about the Howling Peak and a corrupted creature that wants to destroy. So it wants us to now light the Balefires circling the mountain. This is a process. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and make a flame altar. we're going to do that. We're going to actually go to the very top of the peak where the dragon is. And you definitely want to have a good amount of frost resist at this point. So I'm going to probably get some food that gives us more frost resists. Double frost resist food. I'm going to use the warmer as well. So this right here, I'm going to use this. Because we want to have as much frost resist as possible. Because where we're going to go is going to be quite a bit of climbing to get up there. And there are some spots in there that aren't in the frozen area. They're actually warmer. But we're going to be going through a decent amount of freezing spots for that. Alright, so that's pretty much it for preparations. We can head up there. And yeah, make sure I have this. I'm going to drop everything off and then I'll head back up there. Back to where we just were at the base. In that general area. Alright, here we are back at the flame here in the Ebony Summits. And where we want to go is up there to that, I guess, fortress area. And as you see that there's a shroud up there, and we need to have shroud level 7 in order to unlock that shroud area and get up to that fortress. So we're going to make our way over there. Shouldn't take too long to get over there. I'm going to try to bypass everything and do my best to just avoid combat. Because we don't have a whole lot of time to get up to the mountains. Alright, let's go in here. And probably could skip a lot of this stuff. Let's just go up here. Oh. Can we bypass this? Go to this level and then go to the next level. Yeah, all of this is up here. This is like the obsidian blocks. I'm going to just skip this. I don't really need that anymore. There we go. We just bypassed a lot of that stuff in there just by going up to the middle area. And then we can now walk across the bridge. There's a little bit of snow here, but there's not a whole lot of snow on our path up to the mountains. If we do find any wolfsbane, though, we definitely want to grab this. Because we do need some for the flame upgrade. So be sure to grab any wolfsbane you see. There's some enemies here. Everything we're going to encounter will probably be level 32. So we're level 31, so it shouldn't be too hard to kill these things. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Maybe there's a couple more enemies here. Alright, so there is a chest back here. We can grab this. It's through here. And it's locked. Make sure you have lockpicks on you, because there's going to be a lot of locked stuff you need to get through in here. So be sure you have some of that. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, right here, there is... It's kind of a path that goes up towards the mountain there. Also, there's a path up here we can take. So we want to go kind of over here and through part of this cave. We're not going to go through the whole cave, just through part of it. This cave does take you through to another area. Yeah, so we're going to go through here and to the left. Yep, this is the area. And we're almost there. Let's go right up here. Lots of iron around here. And everything in this town, or this fortress, should be level 32. It's going to be a mix of fell enemies and also the scavengers. Yeah, just walk across here. There we go, we have a respawn point. Not like it really matters, because if you die, you probably won't have a whole lot of... I guess you will have some frost resist on you now at this point. Alright, so we can get through this. We can go either that way through that shroud area. That takes us back around to the back side of this place. Or we can go through here, which is a locked door. Alright, so this is Everfore Keep. There actually is some lore in here, and there's also a collectible set in here. So the set is a set of mosaic tiles, and it's kind of like the pieces of Cyclops. We just need to collect the whole set, and then we can put them in a canvas. So what I'll do is I'll clear my way to the first one, and this is going to trigger a quest. But I probably won't get all of them right now, because we do have some limited amount of time until we can go and get to the top of the mountain. Alright, the first one is up here on this ledge. So we need to jump across here. We need to climb up. I think we have to go through this door first. Alright, yeah, the stairway is blocked, but we can go outside. Then we just climb up to the next level, and there is the mosaic. Yeah, this is the first one. You will get the quest for it. And it is one of the pieces that we will need. And I believe the total is 8 pieces. And I should tell you in the quest how many you actually need. Yeah, flame mosaic, 8 pieces. And so all these pieces will be in this Everfore Keep area. So we will need to like come back here and search the place for all those pieces. And it will be easier once we have a place that we can fly down from. Alright, so we're going to quickly go through this place for the rest of it and then try to skip as much fighting as possible. Because we really need to get up to the top of the mountain so that we can put a base down and we can have the ability to fly everywhere. Yeah, so getting through the rest of the town isn't too bad. It is a little bit of a process because there are quite a few like dead ends in here. But we essentially need to make it to the top of the town and then we can find the path to the top of the mountain. Alright, found some lore up here. So we're close to the top of this town, and yeah, this is about the flame mosaic. This will probably also start up the quest if you haven't gotten the pieces yet. And there's another piece of flame mosaic. Alright, this is the exit of the castle, so we should be good to go now as far as getting up to the top. So now we just need to go and find the area to climb up to the top. There's going to be like a whole parkour set that we can climb up on. Yeah, this is the beginning right here. So we just need to climb up all the grates and then any of the places where we can use grappling hooks at. And once again, I'm probably going to just run through this as quickly as possible because the timer is getting pretty low for being in the frost area. We're going to go to the very top of the peak. Alright, so we made it to the last cave, and in this cave is going to be a Cyclops. We probably have to kill this thing because it's going to be hard to get through. And this Cyclops will drop another piece to the collection set. We also might get something good from these things too. Alright. He drops the right leg. Let's go ahead and grab this. Ooh, lemon shade axe. We'll look at that later. Need to get going. Alright, so this is a bunch of ice. We don't want to fall down here. It's going to cause us to be delayed if we do fall down here. So we want to stay on the non-ice places. And we're almost done, actually. We're close to the top. There's the location charted, new location. I think there's like bats in here, and that's about it. That's all that's left. Alright, this is the place. This is the final boss battle. This is the Fell Dragon Youngling. So right here you get some stun arrows. And it tells you right here that you can either parry incoming projectiles or you can use stun arrows to force the dragon down. So that's all good. But I'm going to go a little higher. This is where I want to put the base, is up here. So be very careful about this because this is not very sturdy and there's a lot of ice up here. But you can climb to the top of here. And like right around here is probably pretty good. Yeah, so we want to put it like right up here. And bam, up here you now have a place where you could see all the lights around you and what we have access to now. So it is still dark. But yeah, now we can fly down to each one of these fires and light them. And then once we get to the boss, we have a quick way to get up here and get to the boss when we do fight the boss, which is right there. So yeah, hopefully that helps with like finding this place. I kind of went a little bit of a convoluted path, but hopefully the latter part of this helped out with finding the way up here, especially going through the cave system. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but there is a lot in here, and we're on like the halfway point really. There's a whole other section up here, which is like the level 35 section, which is all up here. And this other thing, Hollow's Eve decorations, we can do all this stuff later. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the base before the cold timer runs out. And I will be back up here, and we'll start actually lighting some fires and finding some more of those flame mosaic pieces. Alright, we're back up at the top of the summit here, the peak, and the Howling Peak. And so we want to go... Let's go ahead and start knocking some stuff out. I'm actually going to shoot for this ancient obelisk because we want to get that one. I think it's part of a quest. Or maybe that's not a quest. But as we see down below, there is going to be... Let's see, we're facing kind of the northern-ish part of this area. So there's going to be some red shroud over here. I think this is all ice though. But let's go down here. We're going to just go straight down to this ancient obelisk and then start doing a little bit of exploration. Alright, here's the place. So we're still up in the cold area. There's some potions and stuff here. Greater mana potions. Alright, let's see. 10 markers added. So, yeah, let's see. What do we get here? I think... Yeah, everything up here. So, this is in the Deadly Shroud. That's the music sheet. It's also Deadly Shroud. This is also Deadly Shroud. We actually might be able to break this one, though. And then... Yeah, just a few things like the Flame Shrines. These Flame Shrines... are all 5, I believe. 5 sparks per shrine. And we'll probably hit those up as well as we go and tackle these flames. It's still snowing here, which is unfortunate. Alright, let's go this way. It's really just a bunch of exploration now. Each one of these little mini fortress areas, they do have some different things at each location. So I think what we'll do is we'll go over here real quick. I want to unlock this location, which this bone pile is like its own specific location. There we go. Skeleton excavation camp, Mae. There's a few skeleton excavation camps around here. And each one of those does have a map at it. Or a map piece. Alright, here's one. Here's Mae's map piece. So you put the pieces together and you get the dragon's map. And I'm pretty sure it leads to a item. Yeah, so we got a new quest, and this gives us some new locations. Yeah, and we get the quest Dragon's Last Breath. Alright, besides the map piece, I believe there is a piece of lore somewhere. And it starts to explain about the bones and what the bones mean. Okay, we're getting attacked. Alright. Yeah, so other than the lore piece, that's pretty much it for over here. And just to show you on the map where we are, this is where we are. And each one of these camps talks about how these bones are a full-grown dragon. And what we fight is just a youngling, so it's a pretty small dragon compared to the full-grown ones. So they do get to be pretty big. And yeah, here's one of the lore pieces. And yeah, this talks about the dragon's skeleton. It also mentions that the dragons were as far south as the Kindle Wastes area. And it does get pretty interesting if you start reading about the dragon bones and the former dragons. Maybe something we'll see in the future. But I think we're in... No, we're still freezing right now, but there's a spot here where it's not as cold. Alright, so if we head this way, we're going to backtrack into a cave system. And in the caves is going to be a Cyclops. So before we head out, let's just go ahead and take care of this one. This is going to have a bone piece for the collection set. So I'll just follow this trail to the Cyclops. Yeah, it's not too far in here, but we made it to the Cyclops cave passage. So this is going to be one of the lower level ones, I believe. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this one down and see which piece it drops, because I really don't know which ones they drop. Okay, what do we got here? We got a arm. Right Cyclops arm. Alright. Yeah, I think there's a chest over here. There's actually the Cyclops cave that has a very high level sword in it. So that actually might be worth grabbing. I think it's on the back side of the mountain though. I'll have to go up to the top and see which direction it is. But yeah, so this is another Cyclops cave. Oh, this takes us into the shroud. Alright. Alright, and we are all the way over here in this shrouded area. Yeah, so this is where the Elixir well is that we just completed. It was over there. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna go back to the top now. So we did kind of make a pretty big loop. Coming down here and then going around. Oh, we did miss a flame shrine. Okay, so I think what we can do next, I do want to kind of go for that sword. Alright, back up here. So, okay, so the next thing we want to do is probably go and head towards Let's see, there is a light over here, I think. Yeah, it's over here. And there should be a cave that's pretty close to this one. So I think we'll head towards that one straight ahead. It's like way out there in that red shroud. And just past that is actually the Blackmire. So before you do this, make sure you do have quite a bit of stamina, because it is a long trip to this one. Alright, we're gonna stop off here at this flame shrine, grab these, 5 more sparks. Down below, there's like a bridge and there's a respawn point, but we probably could make it all the way to that end over there. Alright, so this is like where we are. We're past the decorations actually. I might actually be able to swing back around and do this. It's on the other side of this mountainside. So let's go ahead and get this thing down here. There is a walking path you can take to get all the way over here if you wanted to. It would probably take a very long time. I think it starts up back at the dragon bones that we were at. Alright. There's a guy down there. I'm gonna start this fire. Alright, this isn't the first Balefire, but this is the first one we got. So there's a quest to get the first one, which we'll definitely do that next. I just want to get this one first. Don't let this flames here. Just because it is definitely one of the furthest ones out there. There's a few things we can grab while we're here. There actually is some lore here. Alright, level 32, on our way to max level. This is the way down. I think it says the way down. Alright, looking for the lore piece. Okay, here it is. It's also a fragment. Wall tapestry. So it's different than the other pieces that we've been gathering. Okay, so this is the Twinflame swords. This is the sword I was talking about earlier. Do we get a marker now to show us where that is? Greater Twinflame sword. Yeah, that's the sword I was mentioning before. This is kind of part of the reason why I wanted to go to here first. Alright, so let's see if we got the marker. Yeah, so there is a cave over here with a Cyclops in it. We can go check out. Alright, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for in here. I'm not gonna worry about that. That takes us back outside, so we can go this way and go get outside as well. Be sure we're all repaired. And this area is not freezing, so that's nice. We're kind of below the freezing line. Okay, just avoid the traps, and we'll make our way back out to this main area. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this cave over here. And that's pretty much it for, like, on this side of the map. This extreme end of the summits. Once we get to this cave. Okay, in the middle, there is a Twinflame sword. You see it's like glowing red, and behind him is a Cyclops. And this is all ice, so I would recommend is just pulling the Cyclops over here and fighting it that's not on the ice. Alright, this one is going to give us the leg. Left leg, okay. And then right here is the sword we're looking for. So this is a 32 to 37 Greater Golden Twinflame sword. The damage spread is okay. You get shocking, you get fire, you get cutting. So it's an okay level. But definitely better than this sword. This sword is maxed out at level 33. So we can probably get this gem out of here and do quite a bit more damage with this sword. And this is a one-handed sword. They don't have two-handed swords yet in the game. But yeah, it's pretty fast attack speed. And overall the damage is pretty good. So a little bit more frost damage in here. And then the last one is merciless strike damage. So that's nice. Renewal too, which is pretty good if you are playing with durability turned on. Alright, and then yeah, there's a few things we can do. This takes us different directions. Probably not gonna go through this, and I think that's pretty much it as far as chests go in here. There's no chest over here. There's this guy though. Yeah. Oh, there's one chest right here. Okay. No golden chest, though. The sword was the prize in here. And yeah, that completed that quest as well. So we're good to go from there. What I'm going to do next is we probably could go do this Hollow's Eve Decore. So we need to find a way out of here. I think it is... I think we came in that way. Go this way, maybe? You can cheese this, don't worry about the ice. You can teleport up the ice. And okay, we need to go this way. Alright, yeah, let's go around the mountain. Hopefully it takes us to the Hollow's Eve area. Probably it's faster to fly down from the peak to this place, but we'll go this way and see where it takes us. Alright, we found the place. So this is... What's this place called? Pretty Patty's Pumpkin Farm. Just got more pumpkins. And we also got some Hallows Eve pumpkin decorations. When I made the Mavine as well, we also got some Hallows Eve decorations too. So if you're looking for stuff like that, you can get that from here, and then from making the Mavine at the alchemy bench. I think this is the good soil, isn't it? Yeah, fertilized farm soil. So if you need some fertilized farm soil, this is also some pretty good stuff to grab. So it goes down pretty deep. I think I'm good on this stuff for now. And inside, there's some more stuff, I believe. Maybe not. Is that a book? No. Okay. Oh, there's a basement. Anything good in here? Doesn't look like anything's good in here. No. Okay. Well, now we know. So yeah, this is the place. This is the quest that we had for the decorations. So that is done now. There's also another place like this as well. It's... Let's see, it's on like the back side of the mountain here. Oh, right here. How's Eve Decore. So this one's one of them, and there's another one over here. And we got the other one too, which was at the pumpkin farm. The Vinebrook farm here. There's another one there. So we get some more decorations we can go grab later. Over here on this side. But yeah, this pretty much wraps up like this end. There's the events honor hall, which is up there. That's like a whole... It's up there. There's like a bunch of names written on columns and stuff for, I think, people that tested the game out and stuff like that. So yeah, it's up there if you want to go visit that. And then there is another thing over here. I see some fire. But I don't think there's any other, like, named places over here. Other than, like, that flame we can unlock. But that's, like, pretty far away. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll just head back to the peak and work on the very first flame. Alright. So I think we still have some daytime, maybe? It is pretty dark. I don't see the sun at all. So where we need to go now is to the very first flame, which is going to be, let's see, this one right here, the Silkfrost. I think this is the one we need to actually go to, is this one, if I remember correctly. So this one's not too far away. It's down here, and we've already been here in this general area before. It's where we caught the yaks at. Alright, let's try this one out. There we go. So find and light all the Balefires now. So that's the quest that we're on. And yes, we have this one. And it does check mark which ones you've been to. So we see you've been here, so we've also been to this one. So we do know which ones we've been to. And the ones we haven't been to, they are not check marked. But we can see them visually by the beams in the sky. So we have quite a few of them to go to. There's 8 of them total. We have 2 of them down. Alright, so it's almost dark. I'm going to go head back to the base and drop some stuff off. Alright, we're back, and I think what we'll do, we have a little bit of time left. Let's go ahead and knock out one more of these fires. So let's see. We don't want to face... Yeah, I think down here is one that's kind of like isolated. It's past the Balefire Garrison. It's like over here in these mountains. Let's go to this one. Might take me a minute to get down there. Alright, here it is. That's the third one. Oh, there's some bats here. Let me get out of here first. Yeah, so we are over this area. This actually takes us, there's like a road that takes us up to another like bastion area. I'm not going to go there just yet, but we're kind of skirting the outside of this. Actually, we're pretty close to this flame shrine, so we'll grab this flame shrine really quickly. But there's like a named area up here we can go to as well. Let's try to avoid the creatures. There's some Genshin. Let's see, there it is right there. Yeah, there is an achievement for getting all the sparks, or all the flame shrines in a zone. So we got this one here. Oh, I missed a couple of them over here. We'll have to go back and get those. So okay, that was a pretty quick one. There's nothing really over in this little area. It's just a bunch of bats and stuff. It's a pretty small tower. So what I'm going to do is head back to the base, and then we'll wrap up the episode. Alright, so that's going to be it for this episode. There was quite a few things that we did accomplish. The biggest thing is we did unlock a few new quests. So we do have the Flame Mosaic quest, which is an Everfore keep. We can go tackle this one pretty soon. There's 8 pieces for that. We have the Dragon's Last Breath quest, which gives us this bow, which is a pretty high level bow. That requires finding all 4 treasure map pieces at the Dragon Skeletons. We still have the Gem of Bloodlust. We haven't seen that one yet, but hopefully we will get this as a drop from one of the scavengers that we find in the summits. The music sheets, not going to get that anytime soon. Actually, it might. It's in one of the Balefire strongholds. This is guarded by, I believe, a scavenger. Matron. We still have the Cyclops quest. We're pretty close to being done. We're at 5 out of 7, so we just need 2 more of these. Then we'll have the full skeleton. How's Eve Decore? I think we have one more place for this. Gets the medium-sized carved pumpkins. Okay. This is the main quest that we're on. Finding and lighting all of the Balefires to summon the boss. We're 3 out of 8. And we also have this Roll Decree quest. It's from the Gateway Outpost Bora. We're actually pretty close to that earlier. So yeah, we'll do that one. So we have 1 missing quest. Defeat the enemies inside the forge. Oh, did I miss something? Okay, I'll have to go back and look at this quest. I thought I did this whole quest. But yeah, that's where we are with the quests. Our character is level 32 now. Level 32 and about 1/4 of the way. It's level 33. So the goal is to be level 35. And I think if we knock out all these quests, maybe do a little bit of mining, we probably could get to level 34. And so we might be doing this, might be fighting the Dragon Youngling at level 34-ish. We'll see how it goes. The majority of that fight is just memorizing the attack patterns. And the attack patterns are like wide AoE attack patterns. So it's just a lot of memorization. And it does take a little bit getting used to that fight. So once we get there, I'll kind of go over the fight in depth. And hopefully that'll help when you have to fight them. But yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much it. I did get this nice sword. So I did put the gems in it. And it is leveled up all the way. So we're at 104 damage. The old one I think was in the 80s. So this is a pretty good upgrade. Even though some of the bonuses like ice aren't too effective in this area, cutting and fire is pretty effective for this general area. So, and the overall damage is pretty nice. So it's a pretty good amount of damage. And we're also going to be getting a new bow. So right now we're at 31, but that new bow that we'll get once we complete that quest line will be a much better bow. That's going to be it. I thank you for watching. I appreciate all the support. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.